The name itself echoes wisdom. The man known as the Oracle of Omaha. But behind the billions, behind the empire, behind the calm smile you see today, there's a story of hardship, a story of struggle, a story of rejection, a story of resilience, a story that proves success is never served on a silver platter. It is carved, it is earned, it is fought for. Let's go back to his early days. He wasn't born into extraordinary wealth. He wasn't handed a throne as a young boy. He went door to door selling chewing gum, Coca-Cola, and magazines. He hustled, he worked, he learned, not from luxury, but from necessity. He was fascinated by numbers, by business, by opportunity. At the age of 11, while most kids were playing in the dirt, he bought his first stock, 3 shares of city service. He thought he was making his fortune, but the stock dipped. Fear crept in. He sold too early. He made a tiny profit. But soon after, the stock skyrocketed, and young Warren realized a priceless lesson. Patience, discipline, vision, the very principles that would one day make him one of the richest men alive. But it wasn't easy, not at all. He faced rejection. He applied to Harvard Business School. They said no. They closed the door. For most people, rejection is the end. For Warren, it was the beginning. He found his way to Columbia University, where he studied under Benjamin Graham, the man who became his mentor, the man who taught him value investing, the man who changed his life. This is where the seeds of greatness were watered. But seeds don't grow overnight. The world didn't hand him applause. The world didn't call him a genius. He struggled. He knocked on doors of investment firms. He was turned down over and over, no after no, failure after failure. But he kept learning. He kept investing. He kept believing until he built Buffett Partnership LTD. A small start, but a powerful start. Brick by brick, decision by decision, mistake by mistake. He grew, he expanded, he compounded, compounding not only his money, but his wisdom, his courage, his patience. And then came Berkshire Hathaway, an old textile company. Most people saw a failing business. Warren saw an opportunity. He took control, he transformed it. He turned it into one of the greatest holding companies in the world. From textiles to insurance, from insurance to railroads, from railroads to Coca-Cola, Apple, and beyond. This is not luck, this is not chance, this is strategy, this is foresight, this is persistence. But let's not romanticize it too much. Even Warren Buffett made mistakes. He invested in businesses that failed. He lost money. He admitted his errors, but he never let failure define him. He used it. He studied it. He turned every failure into a classroom, every loss into a lesson. That's why his story is powerful, because success didn't shield him from failure. Success was built through failure. That's the paradox. That's the truth. Now, let's talk about the man himself. Not just the money, not just the empire, but Warren Buffett, the person. A man who still lives in the same house he bought decades ago. A man who drives himself to work. A man who eats McDonald's for breakfast. A man who proves wealth doesn't have to change your character. Because true wealth is not money. It is mindset. It is discipline. It is humility. And yet, his wealth is staggering. One of the richest men on earth. but also one of the most generous. Through the giving pledge, he promised to give away more than 99% of his fortune. Why? Because legacy is not about what you keep. Legacy is about what you give, about how you use your blessings to bless others. That's success. Not the cars, not the mansions, but the impact, the lessons, the values. So what can we learn from Warren Buffett's life? We learn that struggle is the foundation, failure is the teacher, rejection is the redirection, discipline is the weapon, patience is the secret, and success is the reward. He teaches us that you don't need to be the smartest in the room. You just need to be the most consistent, the most patient, the most disciplined. He teaches us that money is a tool, not the goal. That character matters more than currency. That integrity matters more than interest rates. That humility matters more than headlines. Warren Buffett's journey is not about becoming rich. It is about becoming valuable to yourself, to your family, to now, and after you ultimately exit. So act rejection. Remember Warren was rejected. When life tests you, remember Warren was tested, and you failed. Remember Warren failed, but he kept moving, he kept building, he kept believing. You can't know, couldn't ignore how many more. That is the spirit you must carry. That is the mindset. He wants to grow up.